And he's got the little beer emojis.
You see him out and about?
Yep.
Go ahead. One more, Tom.
Standstill. Now, that was at 8:24. Mario, if you could give us an update 30 minutes later on what you're seeing out there, we appreciate it.
God bless you. Or you could just send him a text. You could have sent him a text. And to Mario, what's it looking like right now?
I'll send him a text then. And Tom is a liar, just like Democrats. He is a crappy ref, says the texter. Okay.
Well, I mean, if his refereeing is like his reading of text, I concede.
Thank God the season is over.
Big John said Tom at a buffet with illegal use of the hands.
Funny. Now that is funny.
He left laundry all over the floor too.
Here I come with the yellow flag. Flag on the buffet play.
All right, let's get updated with news. 8:55. Good news of the day on the way. News this morning being brought to you by All American Cleaners. All American Cleaners. They can wash, dry, and fold your clothes 17 pounds for just $16.99. Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, Lovington, and in Hobbs. Dry cleaning, starching, wash, dry, and fold. All American Cleaners. See them at allamericancleaners.net. We're taking a break. Coming right back. 8:56.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
The Geo Group in Hobbs presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
MTD Radio News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Get the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. Senator David Gallegos of Eunice has been elected the Republican caucus chair for the New Mexico Senate. Last week, the Senate Republican caucus unanimously elected new leadership with Senator Bill Scherer of Farmington as the new minority leader, Senator Pat Woods of Broadview as the new minority whip, along with Gallegos as the new caucus chair. Gallegos said, "This is an exciting time for the Senate caucus. Traditional Hispanic voters in New Mexico are conservative, pro-family voters. We wish to govern in a way that welcomes these voters into our coalition. We also must get serious about the border crisis, which is the #1 issue right now for all New Mexicans, and begin implementing reforms similar to those being done in Texas to stem the tide of crime and drugs infecting our state." With Arizona called, Donald Trump wins the White House with 312 Electoral College votes. Arizona was the final state to be called for either of the presidential nominees. Trump's win of the Grand Canyon state concludes an election which had Trump declared the victor in all 7 battleground states, which aside from Arizona include Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Trump also won the national popular tally at 50.5% or 74,686,000 votes versus 48% for Kamala Harris at 70,964,000 votes. And visiting the iconic underground caves of Carlsbad Caverns National Park could be more expensive if the Park Service follows through with a plan to increase some of its entrance fees. But the proposed fee hikes are on hold while officials seek public feedback. The higher fees would help pay for improvements at the park and maintain funding levels needed to support its continued operation, park officials said. Fees at the park have not been raised since 2012. If approved, the new fees would go into effect March of 2025. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
Once again, it's time to make sure no one in the area goes hungry this Thanksgiving with the MTD Radio Holiday Food Fight. We're teaming up with United Way offices in Lee and Eddy counties, as well as grocery stores in Hobbs, Carlsbad, Lovington, and Artesia to fight hunger in our communities. With food prices still high, more people than usual are struggling during the already tough Thanksgiving season. But with your help, we can make sure they don't have to go without. As part of this 2-day event, we'll be in Lovington and Artesia Friday, November 22nd, and Hobbs and Carlsbad Saturday, November 23rd. Made possible by our platinum sponsors, Rig Outfitters and Home Store, Lovington Fire Department, Garner's Motorsports, and the Working Guys Store. Our silver sponsors, Hungry Critters and New Mexico Septic Systems. Our bronze sponsors, Benny's Western Store and New Mexico Junior College. And our basic sponsors, Wilbanks Trucking, Old Jack's Restaurant, and the Geo Group. Be as generous as you can with food or monetary donations. And join us at Fenn's Country Market in Artesia, 2 to 5 p.m. on Friday, November 22nd for the MTD Radio Holiday Food Fight.
Explore the evolution of sci-fi to sci-fact by comparing what authors imagined decades ago to technology of today at the New Mexico Museum of Space History. From flip phones to defibrillators, writers and movie makers have helped shape the world. Gallery highlights include actual TV and movie costumes, film memorabilia, a set piece from the movie Transformers, R2-D2, and so much more. Learn how science fiction and science facts overlap and help create the world in which we live at the New Mexico Museum of Space History in Alamogordo.
Honey, what are you doing? It's 4 a.m.
Well, I'm making a big breakfast for you and the kids. We got to get going this morning. It's a long drive to Midland Airport.
I booked our flights out of our airport here in Hobbs. It's in town, not in Texas.
Well, you want some toast?
Is that strawberry?
Organic boysenberry.
I'm going back to bed.
Love you.
Flying in and out of Hobbs gives you more time and less stress. So when it's time to fly, you gotta fly Hobbs.
There's a big Crazy 8 sale this week at Bob's Ridgeway. Look at what you get for just 88 cents. Food Club Texas Biscuits, 88 cents a can. Food Club Stuffing Mixes, Skillet Classics, 88 cents a box. Bet Smart Pizzas, 88 cents. Food Club Cake Mixes, 88 cents. Evaporated milk, your Austin Hot Dog Chili Sauces, Food Club Tomatoes, even Chicken of the Sea Tuna, just 88 cents a can. It's a big sale and 8's all over the store, along with more than 150 big grocery values where your grocery dollar has always gone farther and they still carry your groceries out. Bob's Ridgeway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
1, 2, 3, here we go.
You see, this is what happens when you let sick people play with powerful toys.
It's like I've got the winning ticket in my pocket.
Here we go, back to being the Breakfast Club. Be part of the show. 877-396-W105.
Pick up the phone and call me right now.
802-802-877-396-W105. Tom, you remember that girl from TV, late night TV? Pick up the phone.
I was just going to say.
Right now.
That sounds like someone I used to work with.
1-800.
You know, voices
Hot
can be
chicks.
deceiving.
Yeah, they usually are.
1-800.
You know, that was one thing that I was very concerned with. I never wanted to sound like what I did not look like.
So
that's why I'm not scared to laugh like a hyena.
Those guys, and mostly guys, who call those 800 numbers, they just know they're listening to this voice and they get a mental image, right?
Sure.
A long time ago, I knew a guy whose natural voice sounded that way, and he worked. You know, he was gay, and he worked on those lines.
Oh my
The queen of that industry was 70 plus years of age.
OMG.
Yeah, she was supplementing her Social Security.
Of course.
Supplement.
I'm just saying.
You know, I'm going to be very interested to see if what Donald Trump can do with Social Security tax. Tax on Social Security. I mean, that's not a big deal for a lot of people because they make under the threshold.
Right.
But old folks, once you turn 65, you should never have to pay taxes ever again.
Especially since they don't keep up with, they keep wanting to do this minimum wage increase. If they do that, it should automatically go for every person receiving Social Security. Sure. Why do our seniors, why do the people who built this country not get paid the same as a burger flipper?
Sure.
We're the ones getting screwed.
Not taking anything away from burger flippers. I'm just saying, why do we show our respect for seniors as saying you are the bottom of the barrel?
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, once you turn 65, you should not pay taxes.
Yeah, you should be
no
reaping
property
some
tax.
Here's
Nothing.
the other thing that they want to do is that rich people that paid in Social Security will not get their money. Look, it's their money. They
Right.
paid that money in.
Right.
Now, it should be up to them if they want to give that money to or keep the money or give it to charity. That's their money.
It's not like Social Security is its own fund. It's now part of the general fund. If we're going to cut somebody's Social Security, why aren't we cutting welfare recipients?
Come on.
It's our money.
So good.
It's our money. Why?
You know, those are the people that paid in.
Yes.
Why don't we cut out some of the money going to illegal foreigners?
Yeah, I don't care if they're a billionaire. It's their money.
Yes.
Blake's preaching this morning, y'all. He's preaching.
Yeah, I mean, it's their money. Why take their money away? On Sunday, magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck the coast, right off the coast of Cuba. As a result, Cuba suffered millions of dollars worth of improvements.
I don't know that I can argue with that.
Yeah,
in some
tremors were so powerful. Many residents temporarily forgot that they were starving. I mean, that's how bad they were. And I say that, a little comedian overtures, but Cuba is a perfect example of a socialist communist country that has failed, and has failed the people.
Yes, easy.
Failed the people many, many times over.
Yeah, it never progressed,
Right.
They're still driving 1950 American automobiles.
Well, they were 1950. Now they're mostly bubble gum and baling wire.
Yeah. Looks like Russian state TV did a story on Donald Trump winning presidency of the United States, congratulated him, and showed nude photos of First Lady Melania Trump. Hey,
whatever.
By the
Kevin's
way,
like, I ain't even mad. I'm gonna go look him up later.
she showed her boobs. That's not really, to me, that's not really, it's not porn. It's nude.
No, and you got to remember, she was a model.
Yeah. Well, and she comes from a different country.
Right.
In Europe,
Topless is nothing.
Showing your breast is not a big deal.
No.
I mean,
no.
It's not that big of a deal. When I'm living in the Philippines and I go to the beach, I see people changing on the beach. It's not that, there are no dressing rooms. I see people just changing their clothes.
Well, even in places, like you said, all of Europe. So, like, if you go to Germany, right, and you go to a public park, you will see women laying out trying to get a tan, topless.
Tom would be over there staring.
He'd be taking photos.
He would not be
Look
falling
how big
asleep.
his eyes
That's
are.
for
Yeah.
dang sure.
That's true, Tom.
He'd be
you got to become a world traveler,
He'd be comparing apples and oranges over there. Apples and oranges.
and melons and.
I've talked about like in the Philippines
And plums.
when we need to pee.
Yeah,
Kumquats.
You just stop on the side of the road and pee.
Listen,
That's not just there.
I
That's a
get it.
lot of places.
I get it.
I
get it.
Yeah, you just, and
You know,
there ain't no whip it and ticket either.
I'm just gonna remain silent.
So,
I'm outnumbered here.
yeah, it
No,
looks
you're
like
good.
Ted Lasso star Phil Dunster joined the cast of the new HBO comedy. Well, great. And Kendrick Lamar's beef with Drake just got back to the Grammy stage.
Yeah.
Evidently, they've got some issues.
Yeah.
And Pornhub says that traffic to the website was up 7%, their average on Election Day. By the way, South Carolina had the largest increase, 21% increase on Tuesday.
Wow. Man.
Why though?
Well, Democrats didn't get out and vote, so. Remember, 20 million of them disappeared.
Yeah. Mohammed Saeed sentenced to life in prison for killing 3 Muslim men. Our state is all over the place.
Why does it matter what religion they were in this case? Because they were all Muslim.
They were all Muslims.
The killer and the ones who were killed.
Yeah. And our state is all over the place. We have a guy in Roswell that killed a man. He gets 5 years probation pretty much.
Right.
And this guy gets life, which actually means, 12 years in New Mexico?
Right.
Yeah. He should have just got 15 years probation.
City of Las Vegas recovering after unexpected snow, record-breaking snow in Las Vegas, New Mexico. How much snow did they get, Tom?
What, 20 inches?
20 inches?
I would say somewhere in New Mexico, like on the Colorado border, got almost 30.
That's a lot of snow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of snow. The good news is once it melts, it'll take some of the filth out of Las Vegas.
Good luck.
Have you ever been to Las Vegas,
Yes.
New Mexico?
Yes,
It's a rough town.
it is.
And American women are fleeing the country. From the Daily Mail this morning, American women fleeing the country for a better life. A growing number of American women are fleeing the U.S. to search for a better life in Europe.
Are we sure they're women?
Yeah.
Yeah. On average, the average age of expats leaving the country, 43 years of age. Now, if you're an expat and you're starting to think about leaving the country, because you're you have to have a revenue stream.
Right, and do your homework on destinations because it might be worse than
I say bye, girl.
Okay. It says that a great number of the people that are leaving the country are LGBTQs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
LGBT, whatever
Bye.
Qs. Tupperware shutting down.
No.
No way.
Yeah. Their headquarters in Orlando shutting down. They're laying off 145 people. Tupperware brands announced they're permanently closing their facility in Orlando.
Man.
Tupperware, known as the food storage containers.
Now, what are you going to do with all those lids that don't go
Right.
in?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you've got Tupperware, hang on to it.
They filed bankruptcy. They're going through, because there were so
It'll
many.
be reorganized.
There were so many knockoff companies.
Yes.
Pretty much everybody is making those.
But Stanley kind of went through that a while back, and now look
now
at
they're
them.
back on top.
Sure.
Tim Walz' daughter sounding off, saying the country does not deserve
You mean
Kamala Harris.
You mean
We don't want her.
Poor thing.
You mean Tim Walz's wife's daughter?
She went on TikTok. She said, I've officially reached the point of anger, and I'm not an angry person. So
sounds like you are.
I'm just trying to channel it. Hope Walz. Did you see Kamala's stepdaughter? Oh, my goodness.
Oh yes, I've seen her.
Oh, my Lord. She said she had mental issues.
I believe that.
Oh, I was like, I bet you do. California, new gas tax going into effect January 1st.
Oh, sounds like New Mexico.
50 cents a gallon more.
Oh, ouch.
50 cents a gallon more. This is part of the Clean Air Resources Act.
This is another state like New Mexico that is trying to bankrupt its own citizens.
So California, 50 cents a gallon more. New Mexico will be what, 30 cents, 20 cents?
Well, it goes in increments. There's
Yeah,
three
but-
steps. It'll be in that same price range.
But I think it's 20 cents this year.
I
to
think
30.
that's what Randy was saying the other day.
It's three steps.
Yeah.
And one more story, transgender